Well, this past week in our online session, our webinar in the School of the Holy Spirit, the third session, third week, I heard something that set me back on my feet, that astounded me. Uh, Pastor Benson Agbertogo said in that session, among many other very interesting things, he said that we needed to remember that the truth is not the facts. The facts are not the truth. That we had to distinguish between the facts and the truth. And I thought, wow, how can that be? Yeah, I might modify that. Maybe he said the facts are not the only truth. But anyhow, the way I understood it was the facts and the truth are two different things. And so I began to reflect on that, and wow, did that ever click on a light? I would like to share with you a couple of examples. This one is about a fellow named Joshua Chamberlain, and he was the commander of a military unit at Little Round Top at the Battle of Gettysburg, and based on what he did, the Union Army survived, won the Battle of Gettysburg, and the Union won the War of Secession, or otherwise known as the War between the States, and the United States exists today. And all of that can be traced back to what this one guy did. And the facts for this Joshua Chamberlain, and you can get a more accurate description of those if you Google his name, Joshua Chamberlain, Battle of Gettysburg, Little Round Top, or if you want to read Andy Anderson's book, Mastering the Seven Decisions, you'll learn about it there. That's where I learned about it. I didn't learn about it in a history book. But here's the thing. The facts were that Joshua Chamberlain had lost all but 82 of his men. He started that particular battle, if I recall correctly, with 300 and something men, and he was down to 82. They had roughly two rounds of ammunition left, two bullets left for each gun among those 82 men, and down the hill from them, a new Confederate unit had arrived, or reinforcements had arrived. So there were those guys on that hill hiding behind a little rock wall they had put up to protect themselves from the gunfire. Down to two bullets, most of the men had died. 82 guys left, facing a vastly superior Confederate force with fresh troops. Those were the facts. Those were the facts. And Joshua Chamberlain, the commander of the unit, Colonel Chamberlain, was faced with a decision of whether to just hunker down and fight it, hunker down in their defensive position, use up their last two bullets, and die fighting, or surrender. Well, those were both choices, but that's not what Colonel Chamberlain chose to do. He ordered his troops to fix bayonets. That means put their bayonets on the ends of their rifles. That's what you do when you're about to engage the enemy in close combat. He ordered his men to fix bayonets. He jumped up on the little wall of stone they had erected to protect themselves from the enemy fire. He shouted, "Charge!" Pulled his saber, shouted, "Charge!" and dashed down the hill, and his men charged behind him, and with a great battle cry. And within 10 minutes after that charge, after Colonel Chamberlain had launched that charge, he was accepting the surrender from the Confederate commander. And that was the truth. So the facts that he confronted were one thing. His action created a totally different truth. So anyhow, that's to me one big example that helped me understand the difference between what the facts are and what the truth is, and how they can be different.